Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Neo Racing League is back once again. Hello everyone and welcome back to another round of Neo Racing League Season 5. We are here at Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix for round 6 of the season. But it's not just any Dutch Grand Prix, it is the reverse layout. We will be taking today our first reverse layout in Neo Racing history. We'll be commencing tonight. The 2.6 mile circuit contains 14 turns, 10 to the left and 4 to the right, with 2 DRS zones completing the circuit. The Dutch Grand Prix in Neo has been held on 2 different occasions, with the inaugural Dutch Grand Prix being seen in Season 2, where Marchmeister took his first and only victory in Neo and is still hunting down for that second tonight. Can he manage it? Since then, we returned to the circuit back in Season 4 for the sprint race, where we saw Shoot Fizzle, who went on to become the Season 4 champion, take both the sprint and feature race victory on that very evening. Our current championship leader, Speed Queen, who will have some talking points to talk about later on tonight, shortly, currently holds a lap record here with a 1 minute 10.615, which she took in Season 4. I'm the commentator, Jamie Jackson, and I will be taking you through procedures tonight as we get into today's qualifying session. We might be joined by a certain apfstig, our usual commentator. We might not. We'll be seeing later on whether he joins us. But first, while everyone's going out on track, we've got a couple talking points to go through. We'll go through our previous race result. We'll go in order. So previous race result, we saw Speed Queen take victory ahead of J Hydronics in an excellent performance from both drivers. Alex Carragoat finished third ahead of Alfred in fourth, ART Optic in fifth, Generic Leon in sixth ahead of Marchmeister, Gary Gator, JPS and Bekuli rounds out our top 10 in that race, which leads us to the driver standings looking a little bit like this. Speed Queen leads standings by just 13 points over Alex Carragoat, and Generic Leon in third, further 11 points behind that. ART Optic in fourth ahead of Gary Gator in fifth, J Hydronics sixth, Alfred in seventh, Kevin Cow eighth, Shoot Fizzle ninth, and Funny Wave Band rounding out the top 10. Constructors, though, a 10-point gap between our top two. Haas leading around 106 points, 10 points ahead of Red Bull on 96. Alpine in third on 60 points ahead of Sauber and RB, who are closely fighting over fourth in the Constructors. Mercedes and McLaren and Aston Martin have all scored points as well, 6th, 7th and 8th. They sit ahead of Ferrari and Williams, who have yet to score a point this season. But that was only a couple of weeks ago. We've had a break week since then, and that meant some driver changes. And by God, there's a lot of them. So buckle in, ladies and gentlemen, because we see Alex Carragoat, our second place driver in the championship, switching from Haas to Ferrari. J Hydronics moved from Sauber to Ferrari, joining Alex Carragoat in the Scuderia. Shoot Visual moved from Mercedes to RB, and then Ferrari from Costa moved from Ferrari to McLaren. Then we move on to our reserves and free agents now, where we saw Alfred move from to Sauber, Passive Zeus joined Mercedes, the Healers joining Sauber, Slush Khan joining Red Bull, Valenzuela, I think that is, joining Aston Martin. I'm definitely saying that wrong this season, because it is wrong on the graphic. And then this guy Neo who also dropped out, same with David, with both losing their seat, as well as Burl all dropping to reserve. We do have some levers, though I don't actually have it in the thing, but unfortunately we have lost Speed Queen. Our championship leader has decided to leave due to reasons. I hope we see her again soon. She's a fantastic driver, and I hope that she will be back either in towards the later season or next season. We'll see as we go through the rest of the Neo Racing League Season 5 season. But this leaves us with the driver lineups looking like this, and crucially one team completely empty is Haas, as well as Williams, but Haas currently leading the standings with no full-time drivers now as we go into the rest of the season. Marchmeister and Blown Smoke are now in the Aston Martin, with Fakuli and Passive Zeus in the Mercedes, Kevin Cow and Slush in the Red Bull, Alfred and the Healer in the Sauber, Williams and Haas, like we say, are empty. Gary and Shoot Fizzle are now a powerhouse duo in the RB squad, with Extreme Enigma and Generic Leon in Alpine. Alex Carragoat and J Hydronics are in the Ferrari, with Funny Wave Band and Constant Soda in the McLaren. That is our grid now, but we do have some reserves as well in the waiting, so they will fill probably the Williams and as well the Haas squads if need be, or just any seats that need taking. So with that, tonight we are going into tonight's race. 13 drivers are in the session. Zeus has retired from the session with a 12.7. I don't know what's happened there. I wonder if they have had some sort of issue, but we'll continue on as things stand. Is the audio coming through for F125? It is. That's lovely. So we get to hear that. So we will be qualifying now. We are currently partway through Q2. Q1 was skipped over due to only 13 drivers. So this means 3 drivers will be eliminated from this session before we go on to our top 10 shootout. Who will stay on and who will go and get eliminated? Well, we know one person's getting eliminated. That is Passive Zeus, who is currently in the drop zone and out of the session. I wonder if they had some form of crash, or they just retired on their right. Not entirely sure. But we're going to have Alfred lead the way. I love Kevin Cow, Alex Carragoat, Formula Leon, Funny Wave Band, the Healer, Constant Soda 368, Marchmeister, Vekuli, and Sluz Khan. Sorry, I've been reading that wrong. I've been reading it Slush, but Sluz Khan. So we're going to see Sluz. We're going to see that Red Bull if I can say that readable name as well. Passive Zeus in 12th and Blown Smoke in 13th. Someone has just jumped up the timing sheet. It was J Hydronics who's moved up to P5, or is it Halo who's P7? Anyway, is one of them. So we're going to continue on now. Anyway, so we've got the Formula Re currently on an outlap. As they go through there, J Hydronics would be, I believe, is on a lap, or is it in an in lap? I think they're on in lap. Looks to be pushing. Maybe? No, they're definitely not using ERS. So yeah, we're going to see who is our next driver to set a lap time. Currently, Soda is going through to the end of their lap. They are going into the pit lane. Remember, we've got to stick to that left-hand side of the pit lane, white line. Otherwise, you will get done for penalties later on. So keep that one in mind. But with that in that is a very big thing here. We need to make sure that we're staying inside the white lines on pit entry, because otherwise it will cause a penalty. Couple of other drivers out on track. Currently, Funny Wayband going through a final sector. In reverse, this is a very, very different circuit. A lot of different characteristics of some of the corners. First corner's traction becomes so much more crucial now. Final corner traction becomes so much more crucial up to the line. Goes up to P5 with a 10.5 to McLaren. Put in a very good job in that McLaren that has not scored a point yet. Actually, no, sorry, it's the Ferrari that hasn't scored a point yet. Alex Carragher and Jack Hydronics are in that. I'm thinking wrong one. Oopsie. So we're going to go and see whether Blown Smokers has come into the pit lane, so he will not be continuing his lap. So it'll be Formula Leon who will be the next to cross the line with a time going on the board. For the first sector though, 7 thousandths up, but fastest sector 1 according to our track map. So we're going to go through sector 2 now and up towards sector and up through sector 2 now. I need to get a track map up because I actually have no idea. Well, it's not going to make a difference anyway. As we go up through left-hander now through this along pretty much flat out left-hander. It almost is flat out with higher speed. Now it certainly is there in with the lower speed you're taking into it. We go through sector 3 now into the hairpin, completely different corner, so much more speed taken through into that banking than there was a lot in the forward layout. So you've just got to be careful to get it right, because there's that wall on the outside you do not want to go near. Hairpin on the exit up towards the line now, the most crucial hairpin of the lap, because it's quite a long run to the line. It goes 700 slower of a 10.3, and that is down on what the Alpine wanted to be doing. A 10.2 currently, they've got a 9.6 is the time they're chasing, but crucially they're not the times we are looking at the moment, because we need to decide who is going to be eliminated alongside Passive Zeus. We're gonna go and check a look at Marchmeister, our season 2 race winner here. The current owner for the league has currently got damage, currently P9, currently in the safe zone, but they've got to be careful because it's very close to that drop zone with Blown Smokers and Slush going to be trying to set better lap times. We're going to go down towards the sector 3 now, through sector 3, through the left and the right, and then back through the left, sweeping into the hairpin now. Got to be careful locking up as the circuit dives away from you into the final couple of corners through the left hand, and as you build up speed, got to be careful of the back end as the curb undulates, the track undulates underneath you. Now up towards the final corner with damage. What time does the Aston Martin do? Is a 10.8, 2 tenths quicker. Remains in P9, but puts himself right with Constant Soda. But with the Aston Martin having some form of damage, they will certainly be looking to go quicker. We're now going to go switch ourselves over to Healers now, who is currently P7 and goes P5, 3.5 tenths quicker, as the Sauber puts himself at 10.4, only a couple tenths off of Formula Leon and 4 tenths off of Alex Carragher, who is in P2 and P3 in the standings. But if they can gain a couple more points this race and the next couple of races, they'll certainly jump Speed Queen, who has done an excellent job this season, but that the small points gap that she has over them at the moment will not be enough to carry over 9 races. We're going to see who will take the opportunity? Will it be Alex Cargo, Formula Leon, or will it be Alfred? Also, we lost ART Optic as well, who was a 4th place driver in the championship. He has dropped out, so it'll be interesting to see who will assume them spots. We haven't got Shoot Fizzle here, so that's very unfortunate. Neither is Gary Gator, but Alfred, Alex Carrigo, Formula Leon, Kevin Cow look to be assuming those spots quite nicely. Very different top end of the field to what we saw last season at the moment. We are now going to go back to Sluz, who is currently on a lap 1.2 seconds down. I wonder if they've backed out of this one. They certainly have. They are not going full pelt through that long left-hander. We are now going to go and decide to look at Commentators 368, who will be... No, never mind, it isn't Commentators. It will be Funny Waveban, who is currently P6. So I'll go on Funny Waveban. We'll chuck a track map on. We'll see what the McLaren can do as we go down towards the final corner of turn 14. And the McLaren will be looking to gain some points here tonight. You know, go up towards the long banking now. That is not the one I want. As you go into turn 2 now, braking zone, 100 metres, and gets on that cross and goes into the barrier. Oh, very lucky to get away with that one. But the rear end is completely damaged here, and that's taken it out of qualifying. Funny way back. Oh, unfortunate for him. It will be at least P6, if not lower. They've got to be careful, though, because here comes Constanzola, who's currently on a lap, going to start their flying time. The McLarens have got to put the metal down to try and get themselves up towards that front end of the field as we go through towards turn 5. Now the hairpin, 3.5 tenths up in sector 1. Can the McLaren find the time necessary to put themselves into contention for pole? We're going to go into turn 6, keeping it nice and tight through there. Gets on the curb on exit, but you don't be on there too much because that curb is very, very bumpy. As we go up towards through turn 8, completely flat through there. Just got to keep the pedal down. Be careful with the grass on exit. We saw Soda touch that grass on the right tyre. Got to be careful as you go through the rights and the left into the braking point. Now you find it about just after the start of the curb on entry. Keep it nice and tight to get the run onto the penultimate corner, up towards the final corner now, into the braking point just before the 50-metre board. Get down to second gear, get on the power nice and early to maintain traction on exit to get good run up towards the line. It is a 10.1, puts himself into P4. A very, very good job from them. We currently have a couple other drivers currently on the lap, including Hydraulics P2, last time out in was it Spa? Sorry. As we go through the next final corner. Very, very good job out there from... no, sorry, Spa. It's Canada. Get my races confused. Attack Hydronics up to P5 at 10.3. Very decent lap from them. Puts himself nice and safely through. Formula Leon and Funny Wayband currently P9 and P10. But we've got to watch out for both of them because Vekuli and Blown Smoke are currently on laps. They could both be eliminated here. Can Vekuli get through and eliminate Funny Wayband from this session? McLaren, who had their mistake at the second corner, completely potentially could be completely eliminated from this session as we go up towards the final corner into the braking point. Keep it nice and tidy now as Vekuli in the Mercedes. Can they go up to the line and take themselves into Q2? Yes, they do. P5 puts Marchmeister down into P11. I'm not... Okay, cool. March down to P7. Oh, that's why, because both Funny Wayband and Formula Leon retired on track. That explains why their times are so low. But that means we're going to only have 8 drivers in the session. Unless Marchmeister or Blown Smokers can get through. Blown Smokers is not going to get through with those sort of times. 3 tenths up for Marchmeister. They did just get on that grass. They can still gain time here and potentially punch their way through if they can get ahead of Sluzcan. But it's going to be very, very tight for them. As we go through the penultimate corner, get very wide on exit. And that does not help them. As we go into the final corner, Marchmeister, can they get themselves through? They just need to find a 10th. Yes, they do. They go to P8 in session and push themselves through ahead of Sluzcan, who will going to try and beat that time up to the line. No, they can't. They miss out by just under a tenth of a second. And that is qualifying over with Alfred fastest. Qualifying 2 over. Alfred fastest. Kevin Cow second. Alex Carrigo in third. Coles Soda 4th, Vakuli 5th, J Hydronic 6th, the Healer in 7th, Marchmeister 8th, Formula Leon, Funny Wave Band in 9th and 10th, Suscard, Blown Smoke and Passive Zeus all been eliminated, but Formula Leon and Funny Wave Band, I believe, have both been retired on track or had some sort of instance, so they may also be eliminated because their time, because they are not advanced to Q3, well, the car would not be ready if they've retired on track. So with only 8 drivers potentially left in the session, and one of them, two of them potential, 2 of our eliminations potentially being drivers who could have fought at the top end of the field. Yes, that is true. So we're going to have 8 drivers fighting it out for pole position. Alfred, though, with a nearly 4/10 gap over Kevin Cow. This is an opportunity for Alfred who has become quite literally the qualifying meister over this last couple of races. But with now a 12-minute session to go, and 8 drivers to fight out for pole position, we'll see whether Alfred can hold on to it. Will Kevin Cow make a solo? Will Alex Carragher or try and topple him? There's only one way to find out. We've got a 12-minute session ahead of us. Can anyone catch as everyone will now be getting themselves ready to go out for their last couple of runs in qualifying. They've had their time to practice using Q2 and try and get through if need be. But if you're at the top end of the field, you need to now put in the best laps possible. We're now going to get the session started. 12 minutes on the clock. It is counting down. 8 drivers will be have advanced due to 2 of them retiring. So normally it would be 10. We're now 8 due to Funny Wave Band Funny Wave Band and Formula Leon's retirement. So that is unfortunate for them. And now we are going to get everyone coming and filing out the pits. We've got Alfred, who is currently have not seen really on our stream at the moment. They kind of got their lap in early and didn't really do much since. Very good lap there early on, and that was pretty much it. And now we will go through Q3. Everyone will now be getting their tyres warmed up to go on an out lap, and we will go on board with the our fastest in Q1 driver of Alfred to see whether they can top it once more and take pole position. With Alfred looking so dominant now, it might be difficult for anyone to catch that time. We'll see if anyone can manage it as we go through here. Hope that the Grand Prix doesn't turn up to be like Season 4 Azerbaijan. I could certainly agree with that. But these drivers are very, very competent, so we'll hope it doesn't, and it is a very different point in the season. That being said, so there's a lot more to play for, especially now Speed Queen has decided to pull out from the championship, so a few more drivers will be now in play. Despite different points gaps, some drivers might be rejuvenated by that news, and some drivers will be trying to hunt them back down. Alex Carragher and Formula Leon look to be in the best positions, but Alfred is a very, very hot contender if they can get a couple race wins under their belt. As we now go through Sector 2 now, Alfred just seem to start to get a decent Sector 1. Tap a little bit there into the left-hander of Turn 5. Into Turn 6 we go. Doesn't look to be as clean as they were potentially hoping for, but into Turn 7, gets that nice and done as we go up the gears and through full flat on power. As the engine just loses a bit of momentum there as you try and keep the car going up the hill, and it go up towards the line using the ERS all the way up towards the penultimate braking point. Now into the penultimate corner, left-handed there, you just got to be careful on the throttle there because of the undulation on the circuit. Into the final corner, just running a bit wide there, not the cleanest lap there from Alfred, but up towards the line. That's a 1 minute 9.3, faster than what I did in Q2. But that is a very, very respectable lap, and I presume they will want to go even faster. Meanwhile, Commentators has a 10.6. the healer, will be the next driver across the line. What sort of time can they do? Can they match their teammate? No, they won't. They are a fair bit off that for now. So we're going to go to Alex Carragher, who's currently on a lap 45.40 in the first 2 sectors combined. We are now going to go up towards the final corner into the braking zone. Just got to keep it nice and tidy. Can Alex Carragher, P2 driver in the standings, can take the championship lead here tonight? Up towards the line, 9.9, 6 tenths off of Alfred in that same vein. A lot of time to gain there. Kevin Cowell's gone a half a tenth quicker. In that Red Bull goes P2 for now. Can J Hydronics do anything up towards the front end of the field as we go through the final corner? Up towards the line now. Where does the Fry put themselves? A 10.4 puts himself into P4, and that is the first of the six cars flying run done. Vekuli and Marchmeister still yet to set a time. Vekuli's just started their outlap as they go through sector 2 now. It is opportunity for the Mercedes to put themselves into a good position. To bear in mind, 2 drivers who would be potentially hindering them are not competing, and we'll start P9 and P10. So now we've got just 7 minutes left in this session, and that's why it's that going off. There you go. And with 7 minutes left in the session, it could potentially all change from here. The gap's very, very close between P2 and P3. Vekuli might put themselves in there as well. But it is opportunity for Vekuli with Formula Leon, Anthony Wayband retiring from the session. And a couple other drivers like Shoot Fizzle, Gary Gator not being here tonight. So we'll see whether their comebacks will certainly impact the grid as well, and the race order finishes in the weeks coming. Vekuli through turn 2, turn 3 into turn 4 now. DRS will be open as we go 20.8 in the first sector. As we go up to turn 5, the Mercedes will be looking to put themselves right in the mix. If we go into turn 6 now, very tricky left-hander this is, because you deceptively think you've got more track limits than you do. Then you go up towards turn 7. Be careful, you don't want to go on the grass there. No curb on the exit. As we go now round through turn 8, you don't want to go too far onto the escape road, because if you do, you end up on the grass and losing momentum. All the way down here towards the penultimate braking zone, this hairpin, bank to hairpin. Keep it as far to the inside as possible, because you want to make sure you get the better exit out of the penultimate corner. As you take the run up towards the final corner, the Mercedes will go around the final corner quite beautifully there. Doesn't use up all the track and exit though. As we go up towards the line, it is a 10.4 from the Mercedes, puts herself P6, joins 2 other drivers in the 10.4 regions of the Healer and J Hydronics, but that is a very, very close P4 to P6 right now. Even Soda in 7th is a 10.6, so that group of 4 will be needed to keep an eye on. Marchmeister will be our next driver to cross the line and complete a lap time as we go up through the long left-hander now, completely flat through here, but you've got to be careful not going that grass too much like March did once again. That is not, again, it can slow your momentum. It could end up being even more critical with aging tyres in the race if you do that, as we now go through towards the final corner of turn 14 and up towards the line. Where does March put themselves? And that will be a 10.6, just 200ths behind Soda, but it's P8 for the Aston Martin. With 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go, who will manage to get those extra tenths, those extra hundreds, those extra thousandths to beat their rivals? We'll see. With 4.5 minutes to go, it could all change. But Alfred, with that time of a 9.3, looks comfortable right now. 6/10 margin. Can anyone gain 6/10 over their rivals? We now go to Alex Carragher, who's just started their flying lap, going through turn 2. Up towards turn 3 now into the hairpin. Normally the exit of this part of the circuit, it is now the entrance, goes off on the grass and goes off the circuit. I wonder if that is very, very close there from... That is very close. from the Ferrari. That could have ended in catastrophe. Yeah, but that could have ended in catastrophe for the Ferrari. So we go to Kevin Cow. Goes through sector 1 now into sector 2. Into sector 2 now. The Red Bull just looks to try and get their momentum as we go up towards turn 8, turn 8 now, down towards turn 9. Can the Red Bull get themselves into the into and closer to Alfred, who has a 6/10 margin at this stage, as we go round the final couple of corners, through the penultimate corner up towards the final corner, which normally is turn 1. The Red Bull around that final corner does it fairly nicely, but with a little ERS to run up towards the line, can Kevin Cow get fastest even faster? Only by a tenth to put themselves keep themselves in P2, but a 9.8 extending their gap over Alex Carragher. We do have a co-commentator, ladies and gentlemen, and it is who some say he can break glass by the mere thought, and is the only man in Britain who knows what B&Q stands for. All we know is he's called apfstig. How you doing, my friend?
Hello. Apologies for the timely entrance.
Perfect timing.
Had some errands to run.
Well, you're too busy trying to work out what B&Q was stood for.
No, I know. There's one in town. I'm still trying to work it out.
Yeah. Have you worked it out, or is it still unknown?
I can't say that on a family stream.
Oh, okay. Good to know. We are keeping it PG for tonight. I have sent you an invite to the lobby, by the way, if you have seen.
Oh, how kind.
I felt like you would like to watch the race. We currently have, to give you a bit of a rundown, Q2, we were supposed to have 3 drivers eliminated, but Formula Leon and Funny Wave Band, who were supposed to be in Q3, where their times crashed out, so then they ended up dropping us down to 8 drivers for this Q3 session. So we have 13 drivers for tonight.
Okay.
So we don't have just 8, we have 13 before you get yourself into. So but we are, unfortunately, it is a very difficult circuit. The Funny Way Band went into the barrier at turn 2. He caught the grass and then went straight into the back of it. I assume he crashed properly later on. But yeah, with that in mind, we've got a couple of drivers yet currently on laps. Alfred, who's already a second down at one day, made an error. Alex Carragher is retired. I wonder if qualifying is already over for the battle for pole. They're certainly not going to be over for the battle for P4 though, because Soda currently nearly 3 tenths up as we go through towards sector 3 and through into sector 3 into the penultimate braking zone, through the penultimate corner now. Just got to keep it tight before getting the run towards this final braking zone around this long hairpin and up towards the line. Just got to get the right traction as we go up towards the line, and the Soda does so. Do they go faster? They do. They go to P5, but not close enough to Jake Hydronics to beat them. There's a couple more drivers yet to set a faster time. The Healer, 3 tenths up. They could potentially jump Jake Hydronics and maybe even Alex Carragher in this final sector if they can get the times necessary. As we go into the banking, through the penultimate corner, goes to the mystery machine, up towards the final corner now, just breaking toward the 50-metre board, and up towards the line. Cooley goes fourth actually with a 10.1 themselves, 300s quicker than J Hydronics. The Healer goes 10.1 themselves. 3 drivers within a tenth of each other, but Cooley beats out J Hydronics and then the Healer. But the battle for pole was pretty much done early in the session, with Alfred banging in a absolutely astonishing time with a 9.3, half a second clear of Kevin Cow and Alex Carragher. That is a very, very astonishing time, but it has not become not as surprising considering their previous qualifying performances in the last couple of races.
That's quite an impressive margin to have, but being a reverse circuit is a circuit that people are not yet used to, really. You got to take the corners so much more differently, because you don't really have to run off on the exit that you do around the normal clockwise way around this circuit, because you normally have the curves on the exit, but Alfred there has obviously been putting in a lot of time, and it looked like one of the Ferraris just put it in P3, so offsetting their teammate a little bit to the latter half of the second row there. But yeah, so good effort there from Alfred.
Yeah, he seems to kind of like doing what Shoot Fizzle kind of done last season, where he was just absolutely dominant in qualifying, but then in the race his pace kind of got reeled back in. It's almost like he goes for a more qualifying and pace-based setup, but he doesn't quite have the race pace. You know,
Race pace, yes.
Yes, the race pace. Race pace strength that he does in qualifying. But with Alfred taking pole position ahead of Kevin Cowell by half a second, it is a very close rest of the grid, but Alfred's pace seems to be phenomenal. But yet again, they've got a lot of gap to catch back up.
Yeah, it's quite a big margin to find, but that could be a qualifying setup at the end of the day, and if it's not really going to help his tyres if that is the case.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see whether Alfred can manage to hold that pace later on.
About this.
Oh, what is it?
I'm sorry, March.
What have you done? Oh, you've. Oh well. Oh, you got to do formation lap as well.
That's right. I'll be P1 by turn 1. Don't worry.
You just you'll get a you'll be like Crofties in the pit lane, except you'll be on track, so you basically be able to come on and say, it's all gone bananas back here, or something like he normally says.
I'll give you some POV comms.
Oh yeah, can you imagine just getting the Stig POV comms from at the back of the pack? Absolute chaos. But anyway, we've got. Let's run through the grid again because we kind of glossed over a lot of that.
Just worth saying, if March is listening, I will be acting like a medical car, like around the formation and lap 1. So don't you worry about that.
Yeah, it's very much the medical car, if anything. Alfred. Yes. So Alfred is leading the way ahead of Kevin Cowell, Jay Hydronics, and Alex Carragher, the Ferrari second row lockout. Certainly is going to help them, considering after all the team changes, the Ferrari is got 0 points in the constructor standings. So that is certainly going to help their quest to at least fight for something relevant later in the season. Mercedes of Vakuli in 5th, the Hilo 6th, Soda 7th, Marchmaster 8th, Formula Leon 9th, Funny Wave Band 10, Slush Card in 11th, Blown Smokers in 12th, Passive Zeus in 13th, and Ted Kravitz in 14th. So we will see who has also done the right strategy.
Ted Kravitz.
Who do you want to be then?
Brundle.
Alex Brundle.
Sure.
We've got Alex Brundle because he's still. I mean, you do have the Alex Brundle type vibe, so we'll go with that. So we've got a load of different drivers.
No, I didn't forget to press spectate. I joined late. Right. You'd have been fine said going ahead, just saying, but okay.
Oh. Well, oops. Well, that's a restart then, Cole. Nice to know. Well,
okay. Well, we've got some time.
Well, we've got some time, so
grab your popcorn.
Yeah, you want to go and grab your popcorn? I'm going to put it into intermission because I'm going to run out of things to say in the next 10 minutes. So hold on, he's Croon / Bernie when they covered for Ted. So you can be Bernie or Croon if you really want. You can be Irish or an actual F1 driver. But oh well.
That's racist.
I mean, if she's a great strategist, I'll give her. If she's she's a great addition to the feed. I'll give her that. She's phenomenal for what she does. So anyway, before I get myself into any more,
before you get yourself banned, I suggest you be quiet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably for the best. All right, we're gonna take a brief intermission. Back in a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We've just finished the formation lap for the Dutch Grand Prix in reverse in round 6 on season 5, the Neo Racing League. Alfred on pole ahead of Kevin Cow, J Hydronics, Alex Carrigo, Bekuli, the healer, Gonzo Soda 368, Marchmeister, Formula Leon, Funny Way Band, Sluskhan, Blind Smokus, and Passive Zeus are our grid. 13 drivers, 36 laps of the Dutch Grand Prix in reverse. What could possibly go wrong? We're going to go 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Dutch Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. Alfred gets a decent start, but Kevin Cow gets an even better start and flies off the line to take the lead straight off the bat. As we go through into the first corner, and that is a very decent job there from Alfred, from Kevin Cow, and flies by. Alfred keeps it in P2 ahead of J Hydronics and Alex Carrigo. Meanwhile, diving up the inside is Formula Leon on the healer in P7 to go to P6. Bit of contact there on exit. Formula Leon and the healer have made contact, and the healer has gone round, and that has sent the Sauber to the back of the grid. Formula Leon up to P6, but the healer is right down the order. It's been a hectic start through this first phase of the race. Meanwhile, Funny Wayban, Passive Zeus going side by side. Passive Zeus started in P13. Funny Wayban managed to just hold him off in the meantime. He goes on the grass and just about keeps that one on tight line. Meanwhile, Marchmeister is going to have to go to the inside and take avoiding action on Passive Zeus as he rejoined, managing to just about do so. Sluskhan is going to have to fight Funny Wayban into the hairpin, and Funny Wayban manages to get up to P8. Sluskhan trying to make the defence, but cannot do anything about it. What a chaotic first lap.
Yeah, it was a real pinch point that some of the cars came together in around that, what is now the Sector 1 hairpin. We've got 3 cars wide at the moment for the battle for P8. We got the McLaren at the front of Funny Wave Band, Slumscan and Marchmeister there, all coming quite close together, but it doesn't look like we're going to have anything on right now. So we're going to have to look further to the front of the field. We just seen Alex Carrigo have a huge slide out of that Sector 1 exit. I don't even know what the corner numbers are because it's been all the wrong way around. I haven't even looked at this track map. But yeah, so that sort of huge slide that Alex Carrigo had has really given a bit of breathing room to his teammate J Hydronics.
Massive spit off there. Bekuli out of the race. He was fighting Gonzo Soda 368, and that Mercedes is completely gone, causing a virtual safety car. The Mercedes not even getting an opportunity to get to the end of lap 2, and that Mercedes and still Silver Arrow has been the first victim of the circuit in reverse, and now we have our first virtual safety car of the night. I wonder if there was any contact there with Soda, because unfortunately I did briefly look away from the screen, but that ended horrifically there. Drive-through penalty there for Soda for speeding in the pit lane. And I wonder if he was coming in to change his
speeding
front
under
wing.
Safety car.
Speeding under safety car, sorry. I thought it was... Yeah, so as we go back underway. Yeah, that's right. We go back underway now. Drive-through penalty for Soda, currently in P5. That will hamper him severely.
No damage.
Yeah, so that will hamper him severely. That drive-through penalty, he will have to serve that in the next 3 laps. Meanwhile, out front, Kevin Cow leads the way ahead of Alfred and J Hydronics. Alex Carrigo pitted. That's who I saw coming to the pits. He's in P11 now. He'll be looking to try and get a potential undercut on the drivers in front. Kevin Cow, though, doing an excellent job right now to hold off Alfred in the Sauber, currently sitting 6 or so tenths behind the Red Bull.
That's put Alex Carrigo in a really good position, actually. He's only 20.8 seconds off of the lead right now. And if he uses those, I'm going to assume they're hards. I haven't actually looked. What tyres are they? They are brand new hard tyres. If he puts them to good use, he could put them in quite a good position for later on in the race.
Yeah, definitely, because that the offset later on in the race will be much more in his favour if he decides to go for a second stop and these guys go on a 1 stop. But he will have to do some overtaking, or at least get some form of significant overcut on the drivers in front later on. Soda comes into pit service drive-through. Meanwhile, we've got a couple the battle for the lead starting to heat up now, because Alfred is applying more and more pressure to that Red Bull. Meanwhile, J Hydronics is coming back into it. P2 man last time out in Canada, currently sitting in P3, is doing a very good job right now to catch keep up with this top 2.
So what do we consider as being the big overtaking spots here? I guess that DRS zone in sector 2, and then I the one at the end of the start finish straight. That's a really fast corner. I don't think that's really an overtaking zone. What do you kind of consider as the main places to look up the inside here?
I would say that if you've got the if you're close enough into that hairpin last corner, you come out the exit right up behind the driver. You take the DRS around the outside of the hairpin, or take the inside line. It's pick your poison. But you could certainly to make a move into before the braking point. It'll be very difficult to make it into the braking point now, considering the corner how the corner is laid out. Like you say, that other DRS zone to into turn what is now turn 5. Yes, turn 5. On this layout. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a moment there for Kevin Cow. Alfred and Kevin Cow get into a bit of contact there. Alfred trying to go around the outside of turn 3 into turn 4, makes the move stick as the Red Bull starts to have some issues now on those soft tyres. Can they make any sort of move back on Alfred? Not quite. J Hydronics is trying to make a move around the outside of turn 5, but cannot quite make the move stick and tries to go up the inside again. The Ferrari trying to get desperately by because Alfred might start stomping away now, considering he's got that clean air. And the Red Bull, just after that little bit of an error, has just caught themselves out and now is on the back foot.
Yeah, Alfred there showing us where he thought the overtake place should be, and Hydronics is now having a look up the inside of Gavin Cow into the hairpin in sector 3. But that's not going to work out for the time being. So we're going to carry on with this battle around what is now the last corner and see who is the better run out onto towards the end of this DRS zone, getting right underneath the rear wing of that Red Bull. And here he goes up the inside. It's good made light work of that because the Red Bull has absolutely no defense that they can use against that Ferrari.
Yeah, those soft tyres might already be falling off. Maybe they're not the best race tyre in this situation. J Hydronics and Alfred will be looking to try and put themselves a little bit of a gap between them and Kevin Cow. But Kevin Cow's going to have the DRS as J Hydronics made some form of error there. The Red Bull trying to make a move, but has to settle back behind the Ferrari at the moment. The Ferrari sits 1.9 seconds behind Alfred now, but Kevin Cow is applying the pressure as we go through turn 6. Now through turn 7. You've got to be careful here not to bounce the curb too much because you go onto the grass and end your day. And that is going to be a very big moment area to watch out for throughout this race. We are now going to go down through towards turn 12. This is another area where if the driver in front makes some form of error and you have a big slipstream off the back of them, you could potentially make a overtake. But also, it is a lot easier to make errors here on a reverse circuit. No one is as confident as they are in any other version. Even though the circuit has been on the calendar since 2020, on the games since 2021, the reverse one is a new addition, so it'll be a very difficult task for some of these drivers.
I'll tell you who is looking a little bit confident, and that's Formula Leon. He's making some real headway into this P2 battle. He's only a second and a half off right now. So let's see if this Ferrari and Red Bull keeps battling. It's going to put the Alpine right where he wants to be.
Yeah, the Alpine at the moment on the medium compounder tyres, same as Alfred and J Hydronics. Kevin Cow, the only driver left on the soft compounder tyres. We've got 7 drivers on the mediums, 4 on hards, 1 on softs. We're going to see whether the tyre wear has any form of factor to play into this race. But Kevin Cow is still on the back of J Hydronics, still has a very close margin to Jay, keeping a bit of pressure on the Scuderia, but the Red Bull is going to have to do some more of the hard work as we go into the final corner. On the exit, Alfred continues to lead the way as we go into lap 8. Jay Hydronics just 2.8 seconds back in the same position they finished last time out in Canada. And the Ferrari looks to really have found pace in the last 2 races as we start to build up throughout the rest of the season. And kind of perfectly timed as well, because all of a sudden he's switched teams. He's now in the Ferrari with Alex Carrago, our second place driver in the championship nonetheless. And he's looking to try and help try and move Ferrari forward. Conte just got past Passive Zeus there. Alex Cargo doing so a lap or so before, but Passive Zeus not quite having the pace of the Ferrari or the McLaren. And we go through lap 8 now, with Alfred leading by 3 seconds, 3-second gap.
Just a quick update on Alex Carragher, because you just mentioned him. 19.5 seconds now, so he is gaining on their leaders a little bit, so looking good there.
Yeah, he most certainly is. We're actually going to see Passive Zeus go by Concentrator 368, who I believe made some sort of error in turn 7, and at the moment has now got to do all the overtaking yet again on that Mercedes, because Soda has got a lot of moves. He almost goes into the back of the Mercedes there. God, that got me creasing there. As the McLaren, he's now looking to get a little bit more frustrated here as we go into turn the final corner. I almost call it turn 1 there. Into the final corner, we're going to go on the exit. And DRS for the McLaren, can they get the move done this time round and make it stick permanently this time? The Mercedes to the outside, sticks to that line. Soda goes to the inside, but goes onto that grass there. That is not the you don't want to be doing that too often, because that could end up with you spinning out of this race and ending up in the barriers. But Soda managed to get by this time round, and he's into P9.
Blow Smokes has just gone into the wall in sector 2 there. Very fast left-hander that the Red Bull and the Aston Martin have just gone through, and they've taken their wing off, so they've just had to come into the pits to replace that. And doesn't look like they're having a great day today, does it?
No, unfortunately, as someone else who hasn't having a great day is Constant Soda 368. He's just gone off again at the same place. He'd gone off a lap previously, and is now back well behind Passive Zeus in P9. We're going to go back to the battle for P3. Kevin Cow has just lost a position to Formula Leon there, and the Alpine is up to P3. A bit of action up front, but mirrored by the chaos that is happening further down the field. But Formula Leon now right on the charge to get past Kevin Cow. Next up, J Hydronics.
Yeah, it looks like those soft tyres really need to come off that car now. He's losing a lot of time to the P2 battle, and I think he's actually out of DRS now. So, yeah, I think Kevin Cow's going to be in with the next couple of laps.
Yeah, Kevin Cow on those softs, not looking as happy as what was a few laps ago. But the Red Bull does have an opportunity to use up a medium and a hard set later on in a race. Passive Zeus has gone off and caused the yellow flag at turn 6, as the Mercedes will now continue on. I don't think they'll stop for any more than a moment, so they'll continue on quite nicely. But Formula Leon on a charge, going to go and hunt down J Hydronics. Has DRS at this stage, but they will not be able to do anything until later on in the lap, if not the following lap. We are currently on lap 11 of 36. The Alpine is flying right now. If you're Formula Leon, you're currently sitting P3 in the standings. Your championship rival really now, Alex Carragher, who's P2 in the standings, currently sitting down in P8. And you've got the opportunity for both of you to overtake Speed Queen and then take the official championship lead. Is Formula if you're in Formula Leon's situation right now, what is your thought process? Do you take it that a little bit more caution, or do you need to just go for it and try and catch Alfred?
Well, I'll tell you what he is doing, because he went nearly a second quicker on the last lap. At this point in the race, you want to be considering your strategy. You want to be thinking about these tyres. Is it worth the risk? Look, he's just done a huge slide out of the hairpin. So those mediums are starting to come away from him a little bit. So you want to be starting to think about potential undercuts here and there. Because you can see the Ferrari's got good pace. You're in the dirty air at the moment. You want to get past. Easiest way, undercut. So that's really what Formula Leon wants to be considering right now.
Yeah, if you're at the moment, Kevin Cow's just come into the pits, but Formula Leon is right on the back of J Hydronics now. He's now got no pressure from behind if he does make an error. However, he needs to make sure he gets on with this, because Alfred is 4.1 seconds up the road, and that Sauber is not looking to slow down. At the moment, though, Sluscon is right back there with Marchmeister, who is on a bit of a charge themselves. and he's going through to catch the Red Bull. Can they make any sort of move into turn 5? The Aston Martin holding back that little bit longer. But the Aston Martin looks to have decent pace around here, and is starting to maybe have conserved their tyres that little bit more in comparison to the Red Bull, who goes that little bit wider there. Unfortunately, Marchmeister unable to do anything there, but we'll have to keep an eye on that battle. But we have a battle for P2, ladies and gentlemen, because Formula Leon is right on the back of J Hydronics, who is going to go down towards the final corner and try and make a move on J. We can go into the final corner, just waiting to get on the power. Now they get on the power. DRS will be available for Formula Leon. Is there any opportunity for the Alpine to find their way by? We're on lap 13 of 36. Can the Alpine make his way by into the first braking point of the lap? Not quite. Too fast of an entry, and just about Jay keeping up on top of that. We can go into the second braking zone of turn 3 and into turn 4, and now Formula Leon is going to have to DRS once more. Can he make any form of way by? It's not going to be looking likely at this stage. The Ferrari is just keeping his himself together.
Yeah, that's turn 1, turn 2 braking zone is just so difficult, and you can see that Formula Leon had so much speed there, but wasn't really able to do anything about it because of how much that corner tightened on the exit, and wasn't really able to capitalize at that point. But well, let's see how they handle into this hairpin now, because they've been really quick around this section. They're gaining, looks towards the higher line just to get a bit of traction on the exit. There's been a traction lost from the Ferrari, but they cover off the apex for the next corner, so there is a cover off the threat. But here we see that the Alpine go for a much wider turn in to try and get more traction on the exit. It looks like they're much closer this time. They're about 3/10 apart now, gaining, using the ERS, using the DRS up the inside, and through goes Formula Leon, completely clear before the braking zone. And then the Ferrari looks to get caught out a little bit, and normally goes into the straight into the back of him. But it looks like Formula Leon's got this sorted for now.
Yeah, the Alpine, bit of balls there for both drivers to try and go through there side by side, but they both made it work, and Formula Leon moves up to P2. Meanwhile, Sluskan is managing to defend from Marchmeister, who's now been caught by Funny Wayban and Alex Carrigo in P6 and P7. The Ferrari of Alex has now, he's on the hard compound tyres, remember, so they're going to go as long as they can into this race, whereas Funny Wayban is on 2 lap older hards, will be having to pit a little bit earlier. But when does Alex Carrigo pit? Because surely if you've looked at Kevin Cowell and his where he is, you've got to be thinking, well, softs aren't really going to work for that long, so you've really got to decide what your strategy is going to be and how long you're going to go on these hards.
I think he's out for a safety car right now. That's his best strategy at this point, because otherwise he's going on to the mediums, because the mediums are like a much better tyre. But he's done really well on those hards so far. He's within a pit stop of the leader, so that's great. But it's only really great if there's a safety car.
Yeah, and it's gonna be it's gonna have to happen later on. But anyway, J Hydronics has just lost out position to the game position on Formula Leon once more for P2, and the Ferrari manages just to keep pace with Formula Leon throughout that lap. To do so, Alex Carrigo tried to make a move again on Funny Wayban, but was unable to do so. Are they going to be able to do so here? Never mind. Someone who is able to make a move is Marchmaster up the inside into turn 5. Are they going to make the move stick into turn 6? They're going to have the outside line, but the Red Bull is going to cover it off. Switch back there from the Aston Martin to Marchmeister. Tries to make the move stick into turn 7. He does. Funny Wayban goes through. Contact between the Red Bull and the Papaya car, but the McLaren of Funny Wayban continues on. Alex Carrigo gets through. Sluz Khan in down to P7. Bit of a back end loss there from the Red Bull, but there's got to be frustration building from these drivers who'll be sat behind the Red Bull for a number of laps. Sluz Khan almost goes into the back of Alex Carrigo, who has damage now due to all that tie up. He has to try and defend. He can't do much. He comes into the pit lane. Is that amount of damage? Contact. He's called the wheel, and now has caused a safety car for the Ferrari, who is now out the race and potentially about to lose any opportunity to take the championship lead away, because Formula Leon is in P3 at the moment. These
are the dangers of the reverse layout. The these tracks are made for one direction. They aren't made for both clockwise and anti-clockwise. And what happened there is Alex Carragher is just completely locked up going into the pits and caught that exit, the entry of the pit wall, which would normally be the exit. So they don't need to worry about where the wall ends up. But that is gutting for Alex Carragher because he was doing so well on those hards. Yes, he was holding out for a safety car at this point, but it was a interesting strategy that was playing out there for him. But unfortunate to have wing damage from that McLaren in front of him. Yeah, so we're going to bunch the field up. We're going to have pretty much all of the leaders coming in now. You can see Alfred's gone very slow into the pits to make sure they don't get any damage or take off their front wheel and suspension. And we can see the Ferrari of Hydronics and Formula Leon also taking it quite nice and easy into the pits. No risk needed here because we are under safety car. We're going to see the Mystery Machine go onto the hard tyres. I think everyone's going to go onto the hard tyres at this point. We're at the midpoint of the race. We've got 20 laps to go. There's no other choice, really.
Yeah, it's a very devastating moment though for Alex Carragher. P2 in the standings could have taken the championship lead today. He would have, if he just scored points. Just scored a couple of points this race and even next race, due to Speed Queen leaving. But he's now handed his main rival in the standings, Formula Leon, a big lifeline. The championship standings at the moment are already close between the two. I think there's about 11 points between them, if that. But the Alpine is about to gain significantly. P2, P3, potentially P1 on the line, on the cards for Formula Leon. But what can the Alpine do to maximise the best possible result?
Well, we're in a really good position right now. I need one car in between them and the leader. But this is where Alex Carragher is going to be hoping that Hydronics, his teammate, can defend as much as possible and even take that win to help themselves in the constructors and to help protect that drivers' championship lead. But yeah, not an ideal day for Alex Carragher.
At the moment, if Formula Leon wants to finish in P3, he would leave this weekend P2 in the standings, 63 points, a single point clear of Alex Carragher. And yes, he's behind Speedwing, but it'll be a matter of time before either Alex or Formula Leon or both overtake the Red Bull. But that is it's also really helped the likes of Alfred and J Hydronics and Kevin Cow, currently sitting P6 to P8 in the standings for the three of them. But they're in P1, 2 and 4. So the opportunity for them to gain some significant points today, especially with the likes of Gary Gator, Shoot Fizzle not being here, it could very well be big points for all three of them to throw themselves, help themselves back into this championship fight with 9 races to go.
Yeah, great opportunity when the rest of the field aren't around. We've only got 13 people in the race today, so not a huge lobby, but gives the opportunities to the drivers that are lower down the standings to make some headway.
Yeah, that certainly does help. So we're going to quickly let's have a look at the position changes. Formula Leon has gained 6 positions since the start of the race. Very good job from them. 5 for both Funny Wayban and Passive Zeus. 4 for Sluzcon, 2 for Marchmeister, 1 for J Hydronics and Blown Smokers. All gaining positions here today. Alfred, the only person who has not gained or lost position, starting on pole, kept it in P1. Apart from a couple of laps at the start where Kevin Cow took that early lead, Alfred has managed to just maintain that pace ever since about lap 5 or lap 6 for the Sauber. And a couple of drivers like Kevin Cow lost a couple of positions, the Healer and Soda also losing a couple of positions, but opportunity to make a comeback now for all three of them. We're now at the halfway point in the race now, Steve. It is we've already saw how difficult it was with the medium tyres, like on lap 11, lap 12. these drivers got to take these tyres about 18, 19 laps, but Kevin Cow is already on 7-lap-old hards. Are they going to be able to get that to the end?
What, the hards?
Well, he's on 7-lap-old hards. He's got about half the race to do.
Oh, 7-lap-old hards. Be a bit of a stretch, but in theory they should.
It wouldn't be the most comfortable ride, especially with drivers like Funny Wave Band, Marchmeister Sluzcar right behind them, who are on fresher compound tyres and softer compound tyre for Funny Wave Band. It will be difficult for Kevin Cow to do so, but he might be able to find a pace. The hard tyre drop-off isn't as significant or severe as the mediums or even the softs, so we'll see whether Kevin Cow can manage that. But we should be seeing the end of the safety car period at the end of this lap, hopefully. Otherwise, it's going to be a very long safety car, but for no reason. But Alfred will lead the way ahead of J Hydronics, ahead of Formula Leon, ahead of Kevin Cow and Funny Wave Van. That's our top 5. And the safety car is in this lap. Alfred has now got to try and get away from the Ferrari, the Alpine, the Red Bull, and the rest of the field. But when does he go and when does he strike?
I think the only place to go is out of turn 1. Sorry, not out of turn 1.
Final corner.
Last corner. It can't really make up that much time by going earlier here. So it's just going to be a case of... or does he wait till the line? It's an option as well.
It could very well be an option. He looks to be waiting now until the
He
line.
is, he's waiting till the line.
Yeah, he's waiting that a little bit longer.
Not a bad idea, to be honest.
And he's gone now right before the line, so then it can the drivers in front don't quite have enough time to get themselves together. Slipstream for J Hydronics, side by side action between the McLaren and Funny Wave Band and Marchmeister. Kevin Cow. Funny Wave Band has got off the circuit. That's now Marchmeister through for P5. Funny Way Band goes back into the fence, manages to defend that just from the Aston Martin, but Funny Way Band almost losing out on a position there. Meanwhile, Formula Leon is going to go to the inside into turn 5. Can he make the move stick? No. J Hydronics breaks that a little bit later, but Formula Leon could cut back underneath, not quite into turn 6. But that has allowed Alfred that little bit of a gap, 8/10 is the margin, and at the moment, that Sauber managing to just about get away cleanly, not get too much pressure from behind. Meanwhile, Patrick Zeus and the Red Bull Sluzcar are both round, and Patrick Zeus is out of the race. That's a double Mercedes DNF now. And I think we're going to continue on green flag racing, but unfortunate there for Passive Zeus. We're going to continue through to the end of lap 20. Alfred is still leading by 7/10 second over J Hydronics.
Yeah, it's been a great start for Alfred there. Really capitalising on that restart and getting those hard tyres right into the window that they need to be. Shame about Funny Wave Band there, because they were making some real... They were giving it a real go against Kevin Cow, but there was clearly some contact there. Funny Wave Band actually putting in a wheel on the grass again on the exit of turn 2. But yeah, so these drivers now, Kevin Cow especially, needs to just really consider his tyres towards the end. But the drivers in front of him will all be going flat out till the end. They know their tyres can make it now.
Yeah, they certainly will know that, but they do have to manage them a little bit, because at the moment, because to some extent, if you push them too early, you're going to end up with bad tyres at the end, and if that comes into the favour of a driver who hasn't been pushing so much later on in a race, it could certainly turn the tides of this race. J Hydronics currently sitting in that DRS window of Alfred, half a second between the two of them. But the Ferrari do quite well though, because they kept Formula Leon behind. Maybe they're pushing it a little bit harder in comparison to their rivals, because J Hydronics is just pushing Alfred that little bit harder than what he was in that opening stint.
And here goes J Hydronics around turn 2, really on the back end of that Sauber in front of him, but no moves can be made at this point because it's just a little bit too far back. Can they do anything into turn 5 now? Coming out of the exit of turn 4, nothing yet. Here comes a DRS. Is there going to be a dive? No, there's not. Backs out of that one, and just waits up for the next lap.
Yeah, at the moment it's just trying to make sure you do the overtake at the perfect opportunity that you can make it certainly stick, and then you can try and maybe pull away, if not hold up your rival and give them a bit of that dirty air, make their tyres under a little bit more stress, having that loss of downforce, so that could be opportunity to use against them later on in the race. They're just recharging the battery now. Well, Alfred's having to use it a little bit more than the drivers in front. We saw that battery go on for a little bit longer than the Ferrari behind him. The mystery machine could become under pressure here on the exit of the final corner. However, Alfred just gets a very good run there, and that could be enough. J Hydronics fast lap of the race. Here comes the Ferrari up the inside into the first corner, go through the banking, makes the move stick before the braking point. Excellent stuff there and commitment from the Ferrari. Alfred having very good whereabouts as well to know where J Hydronics was going to put the car, and that leaves the Ferrari with a lead, but not for long, because he goes onto the grass, potentially botting the lead almost instantaneously as Alfred goes around the outside to complete the move. The grass on J Hydronics' tyres will ultimately hamper him because he could not get quite the braking on the into turn 5, and Alfred just swooped around the outside to take the lead.
3 cars into each other. 3 cars have just gone into each other around turn 6. There's been a contact between Marchmeister, Kevin Cow, and Constant Soda, all of them ending up in the gravel trap, going absolutely locked together there. Looked like they all came out of turn 5 and just came together. And that's Constant Soda into the wall. Constant Soda has just gone into the wall around the exit of sector 2. So that has put Constant Soda in a really bad position now.
Yeah, maybe they got. Unfortunately for them, they just might have warmed up their tyres too much when they went off the circuit, and that didn't help them, as well as going onto the grass, which ultimately hampered them. They're going to have to go in and fix that front wing. But back to the battle for the lead. Alfred, J Hydronics Formula Leon, three-way fight for position, a 3-second margin to full funny wave ban. So we'll see. Oh, big oversteer there from Alfred. Doesn't get hampered too much by it. 10-second fine penalty for speed in the pit lane. Soda retires from the session in the pits as we go into turn 6 and now turn 5 and now into turn 6. J Hydronics is now going to have to reapply the pressure against Alfred. That mistake there has cost J Hydronics to hold that lead, and Alfred has just managed to pull that little bit of a gap that he can maintain over the Ferrari and put pressure on the Ferrari to do a little bit more now.
Formula Leon's just staying here. He's not going to attack too much, it doesn't look like. He's just waiting for the cars in front to both make a mistake, because they're going to battle and potentially even put themselves off the track. So Formula Leon here just hanging back to see what can happen. The Ferrari now hard on the attack on the Sauber, that doesn't look like it's going to be enough to make any moves this time around. Coming up towards the hairpin is going to be a case of ERS regeneration, I reckon, just to get ready for the next attack that the Ferrari of J Hydronics can pounce upon Alfred.
Yeah, he'll be trying to take the opportunity. Hopefully not as much an opportunity as what we just saw only a couple laps ago. With all the drivers going off into the gravel. But Alfred is going to have to, going to know what J Hydronics' plan is by the time we get to the final corner. So, Alfred will be ready for that and be much more manageable on his ERS, on his power on exit, to making sure the J Hydronics cannot get by and minimise the risk of losing the lead to the Ferrari. Having said that, J Hydronics is now 6 tenths back from Alfred, and that is a very, very long way to try and regain a position. Formula Leon, fastest lap of the race, but there will be a battle back there between the healer, Marchmeister, Kevin Cow, 3-way fight for P5, 4-way fight for P5, including Sluss Khan, who I didn't realise was there. Around the outside goes Marchmeister, same with Kevin Cow, trying to make a move stick, not quite, as the healer manages to dive back up the inside to keep P5. That is decently done. Bit of contact there there, but at the moment managing to just about keep it clean enough. Damage there between the Red Bulls as they make contact. Marchmeister to the inside, gets on the grass there, he does, as he goes into turn 5. He manages to get the move stuck. He's on the hards compared to the mediums. Those mediums will not be looking as lively now as we go into the next complex of corners, but Marchmeister has moved up the P5, gone to the grass, goes Healer.
A really hard battle between the 4 drivers here, but it looks like Kevin Cow is going to make a look. No, he's not. It looked like for a second he was going to look for a move towards the hairpin, but it looks like they're going to hold off for now and wait for the DRS zone. Fastest out there from Alfred. And we'll go back to the leaders in just a second. We'll stay with this battle and see what the Red Bulls are able to do, if they're able to make a move on the healer here, or if they have to stay behind for another lap. And it looks like that's going to be the latter of the 2 options there. But if we go back to the leaders now, I think there's a bit of strategy games here between the ERS. It seems like Alfred is being a lot more conservative with his ERS because he's able to. He's got that clean air. He's got that extra downforce available to him and able to recharge effectively. It seems like J Hydronics is using the ERS a lot in Sector 3, but not on that main DRS zone. So they don't have anything left to fight towards Turn 1. That is a really strange strategic play from the Ferrari, because really you want to have the DRS for when you're best able to attack. So it looks like the Ferrari is letting themselves down a little bit there.
Yeah, but now they're going to have to try and take opportunity, because his main straight seems like the best overtaking opportunity going into the banked corner. And at the moment, J Hydronics just unable to do anything as Alfred goes on to no ERS deployment, just to manage that ERS that little bit more. And that gap,
yeah, I think that's what that
him.
Ferrari needs to do a bit more, because the Ferrari is using the ERS in Sector 3 way before the hairpins, and just completely wasted it.
Yeah, that's ultimately helping Formula Leon get right into the gearbox of J Hydronics, the Scuderia, not helping him himself in either attack or defence as we go into the final part of the race. The Ferrari just has to try and get that little bit closer to Alfred, but that ERS deployment in comparison to the Sauber, it might hamper them, but they are really close this time round, but they're having to recharge before going into that penultimate braking point. All 3 drivers looking to try and play the mind games, try and play the strategy game, and try and pull themselves into a race-winning position. All 3 drivers.
I think the Ferrari's listening to the stream.
He must very much be doing so. So what was this about radio control help? Because at the moment, around the outside goes the Ferrari. Formula Leon's left the session. I'll try and get him back in quickly. But J Hydronics manages to, unfortunately, does not manage to get back by. I'll invite Formula Leon back. There we go. So Alfred manages to keep the lead temporarily, but J Hydronics is right on the back of him. VSC though, what was that for? I wonder.
No, got a full safety car.
Full safety car. What is that caused by? I think that might be no, because he was on old mediums, so he must have just been pitting. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but it's full safety car really changes his complexion, because all of a sudden Alex Cargo's left. Okay, Formula Leon's now back. Yeah, that's a really confusing one. Just got a random safety car.
That was really funny how the Ferrari suddenly changed their ERS game as soon as we started speaking about it.
I was going to mention about how, remember how, the team helping drivers in over radio with
driver coaching.
Yeah, driver coaching over radio was banned. Well, I mean, it's come back now, but obviously years ago. But when it happened, they need to start banning driver coaching on the commentary by the sounds of it, because at the moment that really made a difference.
Alfred nearly speeding in the pit lane there, nearly even losing his wing in the pit lane. Took out the speed limit sign, but we've got the drivers going on to softs here, which is probably the best strategy here, because they've only got, call it 4 or 5 racing laps left by the time the safety car comes back in. So yeah, interesting strategy though. Formula Leon has gone for track position.
I wonder if that wasn't
That's
though, because he did leave the he did get kicked from the session to rejoin. So I wonder if he missed the pit lane.
quite possibly, I suppose.
I'm not sure exactly when.
Shame if it is, but I thought they'd already joined about half a lap before the pit lane, but might be wrong.
I don't know.
The other thing the Formula E Leon might be thinking about is they had so much of a difficult time because they were stuck in the DRS train with the Ferrari and the Sauber. They might have been thinking, do you know what? I couldn't get past them, so what's to say they can get past me?
That's very true. And also, the softs, I don't know, to be fair, it's not going to make a difference now, but if it was like another couple laps sooner, those softs would not have been happy by the end of 6 laps anyway, but it's not going to make much of a difference at this stage. However, Formula Leon on 13-lap-old hards, at least those tyres will still have some life left in them in some degree.
They'll have a little bit of life back, but they won't have anywhere near as much grip as those softs. I guess the only thing with those softs, they might not be brand new. They might be 1 or 2 lap used in qualifying, but yeah, I think they'll fire up a lot quicker.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's going to have to really play this getting underway done perfectly, because he's luckily got another probably 2 laps, because it'll take us a while to get to Blown Smokers, who's got to catch up. But it's going to be a very, very big tyre offset. So, yeah, tyre offset is 14 laps different, plus softer compound grip. So it's going to be a very, very difficult one for Formula Leon to keep hold of. However, it's a very difficult track to overtake.
It's a very difficult track to overtake, but if you've got a huge tyre offset, then it's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
We're talking like potentially even 2 seconds a lap, like in consideration of how worn those hard tyres are going to be versus how fresh those soft tyres are. It's going to be huge.
Oh yeah, so we're going to see whether Formula Leon can at least hold on to maybe the same position they were a couple of laps ago. Maybe they're hoping that if they hold up these drivers behind enough, they'll start battling between the few of them, and then maybe they can come back through the field. Funny Wayban on the mediums, at least we fighting Marchmeister and Kevin Cow, who are on the softs, so that will maybe help him keep hold of P3. But who's not to say that Funny Wayban on the mediums will come flying past him anyway? So we'll see whether the driver who could very well take the championship lead, second place in the championship as things stand here tonight, away from Alex Carrigo, who's DNF'd, or could either come away with a win or potentially very little handful of points. Also, it's quite an interesting stat that 8 positions have been gained by Formula Leon. They started in P9 as well. 6 positions gained for Funny Wave Band. Very good gains from those 2 drivers who've come through the field quite quickly and now put themselves in potentially race-winning positions.
You do say that, but we've also had 4 retirements in this race alone, which would have fed into a lot of that position gains, because Formula Leon didn't have a great qualifying. Was it Funny Wave Band, the other one?
Yeah, they both started P9 and P10, so yeah.
Yeah, both of them not having great qualifying. So they definitely did help out. Well, they definitely did get helped out by 3 of the retirements. But yeah, they have had great races nonetheless. Especially Formula Leon, putting himself currently into the race lead.
Yeah, we're on lap 32 of 36. We'll go green at the end of this lap potentially. So that'll be 4 laps to go. That's a very long time to hold out on hard tyre and very much aging hard compound tyres compared to basically fresh softs of Alfred J Hydronics and then fresh mediums of Funny Wave Band. Oh, it's going to get spicy in these last couple of laps, it is. As we go down through Sector 3, safety car in this lap. When does Formula Leon go? That is the question.
Well, I saw how well it worked out for Alfred before. I would probably go with the same strategy.
Well, very different story though in terms of tyres. So Alfred could easily miscue it and maybe get going in a fairly quick manner. But we'll see whether Formula Leon can manage that. We're going to see as they go round the final corner. They're going to warm up their tyres that last bit of time. But Formula Leon does exactly what Alfred done on the first safety car restart and does so and catches Alfred a little bit off guard there because J Hydraulics is right on the back of the Sauber as we go into the first braking point. And Formula Leon is going to have to do some absolute harsh defensive. It's up the inside goes Alfred, not quite. He will have to try and get it to the inside as they get a cut back now. Formula Leon doesn't quite have the exit they would have wanted, but Alfred is going to be right up the back of Alpine as up the inside and around the outside goes the Ferrari and the Sauber. To the lead goes Alfred. To P2 could go J Hydraulics, but Formula Leon to the outside. There's a Aston Martin is off the road, but J Hydraulics moves to P2. Formula Leon down to P3. Mark Price has gone down to P8, going off the circuit there. I wonder if there was some contact on that bit. Goes off the circuit, goes funny wave band now. Contact between loads of drivers behind, and that has ultimately cost some people like Sludge Khan, who's ultimately ended up with damage. Funny way back, diving up the inside of Kevin Cow to P4 they will go, but can they make the move stick as we go off onto the circuit, onto the grass they all go. The healer moves up to P4. Kevin Cow has potentially got damage. Funny way back definitely has damage after all that, and now is absolute chaos further down the order and has completely changed the running in just a single lap.
I don't think any driver outside the top three have doesn't have damage, to be honest. After that was a little bit embarrassing, to be honest. But anyway, back to the fight at the front. What we were saying about the hard tyres, they just haven't worked at all for Formula Leon. But what has worked is the soft tyres for the two in front. Alfred and J Hydraulics really capitalising on that restart. And you can see already they've gained 2 seconds on Formula Leon behind.
Absolutely. J Hydraulics currently 1/4 of a second back. No, 3/4 of a second back, sorry, on Alfred. And it's actually going to start catching the Sauber. With 2 laps to go, is there opportunity for the Ferrari to potentially get past the Sauber if he has the ultimate pace? It is going to be difficult, but Alfred is being closed in on at this moment as we go up through towards the end of lap 34, start of lap 35. J Hydraulics has the fastest lap of the race. It is not over for this race lead. As we go into the first braking point, Funny Wave Ban moves up to P6 as both the Red Bulls comes into the pit lane, and Alfred is going to continue to lead the way, but with 6/10 margin. Is J Hydraulics going to be close enough by the time we get to the final time we go through the DRS straight?
Yeah, we've only got another lap to go after this one, so we're running out of options for J Hydraulics to get in front of Alfred. Alfred has absolutely controlled this race, and you can see that by his pace in here now as well. He's gaining, and actually he's actually dropping the Ferrari a little bit, but here comes that ERS that J Hydraulics likes to use to regain a couple of those tenths back. But let's have a look and see what happens in this next DRS zone, because that's going to be J Hydraulics' best opportunity. Here they come round the last corner, but it looks like there's not an optimal exit for J Hydraulics. It looks like they've lost out on about 0.2 of a second there. There's not going to be any options towards turn 1 or turn 2. The only option now is going to be towards turn 6 for J Hydraulics in the Scuderia.
Yeah, and he's going to have to try and get this move done, or hope Alfred makes some form of error. At the moment, J Hydraulics is just too far back and much closer than what he was last time out in Canada to the race lead, but he might have to settle for a second place once more, as Alfred just has that extra little bit of pace over the Ferrari. As we now go round the final part of Sector 2 and into Sector 3, Alfred has done an excellent job from start to finish. Lost the lead on the open start of the race to Kevin Cow, but quickly got back by in a couple laps' time. but he will start on pole. Has led the race for quite a while this time. Hasn't really gave anyone an inch, and will go round the final corner to take the win for the Dutch Grand Prix in Neo Racing League. Round 6 is Alfred with the fastest lap as well. J Hydronics comes home P2.
Statement.
That is a statement there from the Sauber. Takes victory, beats J Hydronics by into P2. Formula Leon rounds out that podium and keeps hold of it despite being on aging tyres, and very good job from him. And with Lehila P4, Marchmaster P5, Sluzgarn in P6. Kevin Cow will probably finish P7, yet we will, and with Funny Wave Band finishing 8th, with Smokes finishing in 9th. Very, very difficult race for a lot of drivers. Very, very chaotic in some areas, especially in that last part. But a great strategic battle between Alfred, J Hydronics, and Formula Leon, really.
Yeah, very good race towards the end from J Hydronics and Alfred, but it just you could just see the pace that Alfred had towards the end, and it felt like he was sandbagging a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, real shame for Formula Leon there, because they had such a strong couple of stints, but whether they decided not to come in towards the end in that last safety car, or if they it has some technical issues. But yeah, real shame there for Formula Leon, because they could have been really strong towards the end there.
Yeah, so with that race done, Formula Leon will take the lead in the standings by a single point over Alex Carrigo. They're a bit behind just Speed Queen still, but they will be P2 and P3 in the standings in our championship rivalry is certainly heating up. Yeah, so it's going to be a difficult one. So we're going to quickly get a interview with J Hydronics, who we did last week. I don't know if the other two will want one. Hop in. Oh yeah, so Leon wants one as well. Into your Team VC, and I'll pull you in. But yeah, excellent job there. Sorry, I've got to try and do all this. Alfred takes victory. Here ahead of J Hydronics and Formula Leon. That is our podium. Championship, second place in the championship goes to Formula Leon. And potential, and his championship fight is certainly come alive now. Right. With that in mind, we're going to go to our interview section. That is not the right one. That is intermission. That is interviews.
We have a jingle for that.
What, for interviews? We don't.
Yeah.
We're going to pull.
Let's try harder.
We'll call J Hydronics in quickly first. He was P2, so we'll do him, and then we'll quickly get Formula Leon in. Let's drop him in. J Hydronics, can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Congratulations, mate. Another P2. How are you feeling?
Definitely great after this race, because this track is terrible.
We can tell that from the comms box.
I tell you what, I would not want to be driving this track, because I don't even like it in forward position, let alone reverse. But talk us through that starting with qualifying. You got P3 on the grid. Did you feel confident after that qualifying, or were you still tentative?
I definitely felt confident, but I noticed towards the end, basically my last lap, is for the first lap, you're still on cold tires. But the second lap, that's when you're on the warmer tires and you can push a little bit harder. I didn't realize that until Q3. And I was like, oh, dang, I should have did something different. But I got P3. Alex, I know he's a lot faster than me, so I'm like happy that I got in front of him by a little bit. But I know this track was tricky for everyone.
Yeah, it is a very tricky track. So starting off the race, I'm not sure what happened with Alex. Did he was there any contact for him to go into the pit lane? Did he decide he just wanted hards? Did you see anything that happened with him?
I didn't feel any contact, because I noticed that I think it was lap 2 or 3. I ended up getting a lot of understeer, and I happened to look behind me, but I didn't feel any contact. unless he
So-
got in contact with somebody else.
So I can jump in there. So there was no contact with Alex Carragher that I saw, but there was quite a lot of understeer. And I think what happened is he just put a couple of wheels on the grass and he had a huge oversteering moment, and that's how he dropped off of the fight for the top three. And I think he just decided to do something a little bit different. It didn't look like he had any damage, and I don't think he changed wing in the pits.
Okay, that clears that one up. So thank you. So with that in mind, your pace is very good. You're also very much with Alfred that race. So did you were you managing at any stage with the pace and just trying to be a bit more tactical with your DRS, or were you just making sure you wanted to get by him and try and pull away?
I was definitely like watching what Alfred was doing. I know in sector 3 I was able to catch up, but he was a lot faster than me in the first 2 sectors. But my main thing to go, or not my main thing to go, my main thing that I was trying to do in this race was, of course, get the win. I did mess up on lap 35, the last turn, the entry. I don't know how I managed to do that. And that just basically ruined my whole entire win or chance to win.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I still managed to come in with P2. So, Stig, do you have any more questions before I jump into the final one?
No, I was just going to say, great race today. If I'll give you a little bit of advice, just consider your ERS. I don't know if you were listening to us on the stream, but you want your ERS for your best overtaking opportunity, and I think you could have really capitalised today if you just deployed a little bit later in the lap.
Yeah, that's because I didn't really practice too much also, and I came into this race with a sprained left ankle. So that kind of that really kind of dampened it, but I fought through it and I did the best I could.
Yeah, great race today.
Yeah, true warrior. So, the usual final question I always give you is, what going into next week then? What track is it? I don't even know. Yep, Miami. It's a sprint race. What's your feelings going into that? No, sorry, it's Bahrain. It's Bahrain. I read the wrong one. Bahrain.
Oh, Bahrain. Bahrain. It's
wrong week.
I'm confident. I'm definitely confident in Bahrain. Miami, if we do have Miami, that's a different story. But Bahrain, I'm definitely going to be confident going into that race.
Those are our next two races. So Bahrain and Miami. I read the wrong week.
Okay.
So yeah, Bahrain, you're confident. So is there potential to get another podium, if not a race win for you?
I'm definitely going to aim for the win in Bahrain and definitely podium in Miami.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. So, good job today. Congratulations on another P2. Very well deserved. Thank you for your time. We might see you next week, and if we do, lovely chat once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one, mate. See you in a bit.
Yep, you too.
Just gonna pull in generic Leon now. P3 man, and now championship Leon. Generic Leon, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Congratulations on P3, mate. And now, jumping Alex Carragher in the standings. How are you feeling after that race?
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you've jumped in by a single point now in the standings.
Oh, nice.
How are you feeling after all that?
Provisionally,
yeah, that's the key word.
I'm feeling good. I definitely messed up with the strategy at the end. Yeah, I didn't think they could overtake me that fast.
Was that a decision made towards the end to not come in for fresh tyres, and you just thought you could hold out with the track position? Yeah,
okay. I thought I just could hold on to track position.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a fair assumption that you made, because you had so much difficulty trying to get past those drivers on equal tyres for basically the whole race before. So I can see why you've made that decision, but yeah. Hindsight can play wonders.
Yeah. So, we'll go into qualifying, because I didn't see what happened with you in qualifying Q2. But what happened there? Did you make an error or something?
Yeah, I made a mistake and crashed into the wall. It was really unnecessary. I was just doing laps.
Yes.
And pushed a bit too hard.
Yeah, it didn't seem to hamper you getting through the field though, because you looked to be very quick in getting through the field, and you had very good pace in comparison to the top end of the field. Did you? How did you feel coming into today with your race pace and your quali pace? Did you feel like it was going to be a good race, or did you feel like it was going to be a bit more difficult?
Honestly, I didn't know. I didn't practice that much, but I really like this track. I heard Jay Hadronics doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said
Yeah,
he
doesn't
wasn't
like
a fan
that
of
at
it,
all.
especially in the reverse.
Yeah.
No, I like the reverse, just not that you can't really overtake on this track unless you have softs and I have hards.
Well, so, with the pace today, were you actually, speaking of pace, so and being difficult to overtake, was there any strategy with the whole battle before the safety car with Alfred and Hydronics? Was there any strategy with that? Were you letting them kind of wear each other out before going through, or were you looking to just try and find a way by constantly?
I was just trying to save my tires and ERS and looking for them to make a mistake or something so I can get past.
That's fair enough. Stig, do you have any more questions?
No, nothing from me. Just good luck in the next race. Really well played today. Just unlucky it didn't play out how you wanted to.
Well, one final question from me then. Going into next week, it is Bahrain. What's your confidence on that? Yeah. What's your confidence going into Bahrain?
I'm quick. I haven't done many laps on this game yet, but I'm looking for another podium.
It's good to hear. That's the confidence. That's the confidence we like to hear. Both of you and Jay Hydronics looking to have confidence, at least here. And now you're only a little bit behind Speed Queen, so technically, really you are the championship leader. So all the confidence in the world for you as well there, right?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, congratulations on P3 today. Very solidly driving those last couple of laps on those hards in comparison to the rest of the field. And good job on podium. Good luck next week. And we might be talking to you again this time next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one, mate. See you later. So that's going to be it from us tonight. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week with Bahrain, and then we will be continuing the season with Miami sprint race, and then a mystery Grand Prix a couple rounds time. So be tuned for all three of them and the rest of the season. Got a big championship fight and a lot of different race winners to come ahead, come and go. So we'll see what will be happening. Thank you, Stig, once again for joining me.
Pleasure.
A pleasure as always. We will see you next week. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.